Okay, first let's go through the provide statement. Uh, uh, Creating. So I'm pasting reading doc for 2025, Jan 2025. So pin this here one, save it. I'm going to share my screen. Word document. So product can be submitted only once. So you have to make sure like don't do any mistakes while submitting. So there. Okay. Uh, so first you had what you have to do is like you have to create a folder. In that you have to create front end and back end separate folders. In backend you have to do everything same as mad1, but the only difference is instead of in the mad1 you are using jinja template to render the information you are fetching from the database, whereas in mad2 you are using the same thing in backend the flask everything. Only thing is instead of the html template, a jinja rendered html template, you are sending here json data. That's the only difference. And whereas in front end, with the learned Vue framework, you're going to create uh, a Vue project here, like front end, and in that you are going to use Axios or some other data fetching, and by the backend APIs, you are fetching the data that is the JSON for the JSON data it is returning. We are capturing that in front end and we are showing that information. That's it. Whereas in previously in Mad1, we are just doing one backend for backend. That's it. We are just rendering HTML and we are returning the HTML. Whereas here we have to return the JSON file. Everyone got it? So that's the difference. In Mad1, this was the only thing, but in Mad2, we are using JavaScript library framework view to do the front end. That's it. So that's the thing, and we have to create the folders accordingly. Uh, ex- uh, Executing the submission. These things you can read. So that's the thing we have to do. And there is about there will be two levels of Viva, same as Mad1. In level 1 they will ask what are, if the requirements all requirements are matched or not. In the level 2 they will check your theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, like if you can do some changes in the website or not. So that's it. Okay, these things you can check. uh, I'm just opening one. So plagiarism. So you can use mad1. I don't use mad1 project. Okay, so if you use that you may get a plagiarism, because if the code matches then you will get plagiarized, so better to do some changes and use it. Okay, so which one should I open? Household service. Okay. uh,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, if we do with the same problem statement in Mat 2 project also, which we used in Mat 1 project, then
Mhm.
there will be plagiarism, sir. You
No,
told.
no, there won't be any plagiarism unless you use the code which is same. You might get. Okay.
Open master queue, sir.
Sorry.
Open master queue, sir.
What it means?
Qt
He's asking
project,
to
sir.
open Quizmaster.
ओके नया वाला ओके हाँ नया वाला ही ओपन करता हूँ
So, but if you use the same problem statement also, if the code is different, then
yeah
there is no problem.
if code is different how can it get plagiarism
Sir, who will give the problem statement?
it is in the grading doc so this is
No,
the
sir.
problem statement
Problem statement would be different for all student.
see if you done mad one in the previous term then you can do the problems I mean same problem statement you can do it or else you can okay wait
No. Who will provide the problem statement?
no one will provide problem statement the problem statement is in the grading doc itself you
Okay.
have to check it
Okay.
so there are two things I think anyone you can choose the problem statement that students have to complete in Jan 2025 will be either of the one of the given below okay so you can work on anything okay quiz master version 2 it is a multi-user so there will be multiple users one requires an administrator and other users so only two users one is admin who will do all the things and one user who will do I mean he will utilize the app who will maintain one who will utilize that's it acts as an exam preparation site for multiple courses okay so there will be multiple courses and if a user selects one course then he can see the exam like a test practice something like that frameworks to be used so as usual as in the mad one we have to use SQLite database for the storage Flask for APIs so you can also use Flask RESTful anything the only thing is you have to return the JSON data Vue.js for user interface so Vue.js is advanced with the CLI only if required it is not necessary so if you are good with command line interface then you can use this one or else you can do CDN thing you can just import JavaScript library and you can use that Ginger to templates, if using CDN only for entry point, not to be used for user interface. So you can also return templates using Ginger to template, but the only thing is you should not include any data in it. You just need to return the template, and after that, using the CDN, you are importing Vue.js library, and after importing that library, while running the JavaScript file in that the template you are rendered with Ginger 2, in that you have to fetch the data from again from uh, the Flask API, okay, and you have to show the data in the front end. Bootstrap for HTML generation and styling. So no other CSS framework is allowed. So you can use Bootstrap, or else you can do your own CSS. SQLite for database. No, the database is okay. Already just said. Okay, what is this for database? Data storage. Jivraj,
Yeah, and then
what is this like SQLite for data storage? SQLite for database. What is this?
uh, basically they are saying you are not permitted to use any other database. That's
What
what
is
I
the data
am able to
storage?
understand.
There are two things.
Mm, I'm not sure what is meaning of
SQLite
SQLite for
3.
data storage.
Yeah, Prithvi.
I guess yeah, we need to use SQLite 3 database.
No. They are saying SQLite for database, SQLite for data storage. Okay, maybe they both referring to same thing. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Redis for catching. So we will use Redis. Redis and Celery for batch jobs. Okay. So time triggered jobs, something like that. All demos should be possible on your local machine. So whatever you do on, uh, so if it is running successfully in your machine, so it should be, you should be able to demonstrate in the Vivas. The platform will have two roles. So as they said, it will be multi-user app, and the users will be admin. So who will have the root access, like he can modify anything on the website, whereas user he can only attempt quizzes of its choice. Like if he selects a subject, he can attempt some quizzes in that. That's it. Whereas an admin has a root access, he can do anything. Uh, so admin is also known as the quiz master. Okay, only one admin to this application, so there should not be like any registration form for admin, so only one admin for the application, that's it. The administrator login redirects to the quiz master or admin dashboard. So there will be two interfaces because there are two users. We have to create two separate interfaces, one for admin, one for user. While the admin enters his registration details in the login form, we have to redirect him to the quiz master or else admin dashboard. So whatever you name. So better to keep quiz master because they have said he's known with the name quiz master. So separate dashboard for the quiz master. Administrator will manage all other users. So the admin has the ability to block some users like this. So he can manage every user, like he can delete one user like that. He can reset user history like that. Admin will create a new subject. So he can create new subject and he can add various chapters under a subject. So all these things we have to create, like create, read, update, delete for the subject session. Then every subject we have to give crude operations to chapters also. And again, we will add questions under a chapter. So it is like hierarchy, subject, under subjects, multiple chapters, under each chapter, again, multiple questions. So like that. And here comes the user. So user can register and log in, whereas admin has only login. So keep in mind, there should not be any registration form for the admin. Only user can register and log in. And if the admin logins with the same form, then he should be redirected to the Quizmaster dashboard. Okay, let's go to the next point. Each user may have ID. So we have to use some primary key. We can also use email as primary key. It doesn't matter. And username. This can be, you can use the whatever the user given username, and you can check the database, like if the user ID username already exists or not. Like that you can check, or else you can keep the email also as username. So because they have given, so you can do that. Password. Yeah, while registering these things, you can ask full name, qualification, date of birth. Okay, after registering, he will be redirected to the normal dashboard. Okay, not Quizmaster, normal dashboard. And after that, he can select a subject or chapter name. And after that, he can select the quiz and he can start it. And after doing the quiz, he will be able to see the quiz scores. So that's the thing we have to do. So I hope there are no doubts because we are going through it. I will go to the next one. Technologies. So user will be a register and login and attempt to quiz of his or her interest. So admin has the super user with full controls over the users and data. Registration is not allowed for the admin. So keep in mind, the admin account must pre-exist in the database when the application is initialized. So when you are starting the backend for the first time, then you should check if the database is not empty. If the database is empty, then create a user account and give it admin access. So like that you have to do. That's what they are saying. Application is initialized when it is starting. You have to do that. And after that, subject. So in that dashboard, you have to show the subject, a field of study in which the user wishes to give the quiz. The admin will be creating one or many subjects in the application. So just a section, you can keep it as like a section where every subject can be possible have the following fields like ID. Yeah, there should be an ID, like you can keep it numerical, incremental, name, description, and additional fields if there are any. That's it. And chapter, so again every subject will have multiple chapters, and again subsection you can think like, and that for that also you have to keep ID, name, description, so additional fields if any. So you can use this thing to create the models itself. So you can create basic models, database models right now if you want to save time. So each quiz has is used to evaluate the user's understanding of any particular chapter of any particular subject. Test may contain the following attributes. So there can be multiple quizzes. There should be ID, chapter ID, date of birth. Okay, foreign key. Like we are relating. So one quiz related to one chapter like that. Date of quiz when it is released. Okay, when this quiz happened like that maybe. Time duration, like how much time is allowed. Remarks if any. like a description you can say, like about the exam. That's it. And again in this quiz there should be multiple questions. So every question will have a set of questions created by the admin. Possible fields of question may include id, quiz id, question statement, option 1, option 2, and you can also include images if you want to make the application look good, feel good. That's it. And now here comes the scores. Scores stores the scores and details of a user's quiz attempt. Possible fields in the scores are id, quiz id, user id, so you have multiple mapping. And in timestamp of the attempt, okay, how much time he was able to complete that, uh, was able to complete this quiz, and what is the score he attained. That's it. So these are the things you have to make the models about. So that's it. You can also put images, like for the questions you can have images for I'm not sure about quiz, but for chapters you can keep images of, like if it is chemistry then you can show some atoms. So just keep an id here, like image url, and keep the id and show it in the front end. So we can do that additional fields. Yeah.
So for chapter also there should be foreign key, right? Like chapter is related to subject,
Yeah.
but a foreign key is not given.
Yeah, you can include. Yeah, maybe they forgot. So one subject will maybe map it to multiple chapters. So one too many. Okay, let's go to next. Application wireframe. So how they have given wireframe? Let's check it. Okay, so first login form. So simple login form they have given. After logging, if it is administration, then you have to show the dashboard like this, but with multiple option: home, quiz, summary, logout, and you have to show multiple subjects, and they can delete or edit some chapters, and number of questions there are in that. And after, they can create a new subject, they can create new chapter, they can create new question, and multiple options. They can also upload image. I mean, you can create an option to upload images also. And some in summary section you can show summary, uh, like there will be scores of the every student, right? So you can make graphs from the data and show that. And you can also create new quiz. uh, when it comes to user, so user can see upcoming quizzes, like when they are going to start. Okay, sorry guys, like for the quiz the date they have given, like which it is the, like when it is going to start, so they can start it or else they can view it, and they can see their summary, like how they are performing with the data you have collected. Um so they can start a quiz, and they can select options, and they can save the progress. uh, yeah, they can see some quiz details. That's it. So this is very simple. So I think compared to the previous problem statement, this is easy. The household services. So compared to that, this is easy, I guess. Okay. Provided wireframe is intended only to illustrate the application's flow. Okay, you can change it if you want. It is not mandatory to make it as it is. That's it. So admin login, user login. So you should use flags security. So there should be some token based logging, like JWT based token. So I will explain it with my code. So the only thing is, like when the user enters password, we will check in the backend, and if the password is matching, then we will return a JWT token. So the token is like a security. You can say again it is like a password. Only thing is we will store in the front end, and whenever we are trying to go to another page, we will check if the current user, whoever trying to access the information, is allowed. He is not trespasser, like he is allowed, then only we will send the data. So for that use we will be using this JWT token.
Like cookies, right?
Yeah, we can also use in cookies. You can store it in cookies. No,
Is it to manage
I'm not sure.
session management?
No, this is not session management. So JWT token is a token given from the backend, and we are going to store the data in the local storage in the front end. Okay, in the browser, we are going to store the token, and whenever we are fetching data from the backend, we will use this token. So backend will check if the token is the the correct user or not. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for that, so cookie, I'm not sure about cookies. So let's go to which one. I'm not sure about cookies, but we will store that in the local storage. Jivraj, do you know about this? Okay.
Basically, cookies is another way you can do the authentication. So cookies are like they have very short time span, and the way they gets generated, they use some algorithm which is decryptable. So this is much more safer than JavaScript, Java Web Tokens and those things. Just another way to implement security authentication.
Okay. Thank you. So let's go to admin dashboard.
Then,
So there should, yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Then, how we, develop that? What are the things used for?
So you can go to Flask, uh, JWT extended, and you can read the documentation. So they will give like how to return a JWT token and how
Oh,
to store that in front end. So here is the installation basic usage, and you can return as a headers cookies. So that's it. How to send any JSON body, refreshing tokens, revoking, blacklisting. Okay.
okay. Then, do we need to implement all the decode and encoding?
No need to decode. Just so whenever the user logins, we are sending the token to the front end, and in the front end we are storing the token, and whenever we are trying to access some other information, then along with that request we are sending this token, so that backend will know, okay, this is the correct person who logged in way back. So I'm going, because he is a trusted person, I'm going to return the data. If the token is wrong, then backend will reject the request, and it won't send any information.
Oh, got it.
So we
Thanks.
don't need to decrypt anything. This it will take care of. Okay, JWT based class security will take care of it.
Okay.
So backend will
So
automatically
let's
handle it.
yeah, we just need to return the token, and it will automatically check. So admin dashboard. So admin should be able to add. Uh, so admin should be automatically added whenever the database is created. Admin should be. Admin should have the ability to create, read, update, delete any things which should be creatable in the application. So each quiz contains a set of questions, MCQ. Admin can search the user subjects of questions, quizzes. So it shows summary. Okay, whatever we discussed before, it is same. So admin specifies the date, duration. So keep in mind, like admin tells, okay, the exam will start at today 5 p.m. Then it should start at that time. So here we are going to use the Celery and Redis, which discussed before. So whenever the admin set this time, so there will be automatically triggering, like setting a task for the time in the backend, and whenever the time arrives, then the backend, the logic whatever you put will trigger, and it should start the quiz and allowing students to write the exam. Okay, so that's the use of it. uh, Create the SOC questions inside a specific quiz. Okay, so user dashboard, uh, he can attempt any quiz of his or her interest. Every quiz has a timer, so have to check this also in backend. Like whenever the time uh, uh, expires, then you should not allow users to send the answers to the backend. So this is also we are going to use the Celery. Each quiz score is recorded. The earlier quiz attempts are shown to be able to see the summary chats. Okay. Database must be created programmatically via table creation or model manual database creation such as using DB browser for SQLite is not allowed. Yeah. So whenever the code runs, it should, or it will automatically create. We don't need to worry. So you just use the code db.create all and it will create the file. So that's it. Backend jobs, yeah. So daily reminders. So if any user not visited the website today, then you have to send him a reminder. Oh no no, check if user not yeah. If the user not visited or a new quiz is created by the admin, then you should send a reminder to the student like there is a new quiz, visit the website, like that. So just a message. Monthly activity report. So in the monthly activity report, you have to show like what are the subjects, what is the rank of the student. So these things you have to show in that report. So just fetch the data, gather the information, and make a message and send to user. That's it. And you can do this via mail hog, like locally you can send mails, or else you can use some third party like Bravo to send mails. So this is a thing you can explore later. You can also use Google Chat.
It is not Gmail.
JPL.
No, you cannot use Gmail for sending mails.
Yeah, no, you can't use Gmail because no, you can use Gmail, but it is like see, if you are putting that into GitHub, then the password will be visible. For that, you have to use some credential hiding. Okay, you can use Gmail, yeah, but the thing is, it is like difficult, I can say, because I tried to do it and it was giving so many uh, what to say. It is difficult. So, yeah, Pranav.
Sir, if I started developing this project, and how will I get to know that I am aligned with the project statement, or how will I get to know that I am on the right track? So, does there any assistance will I get from you, any teachers, or is there any GitHub link that I can
of
share?
After you register for this course, you will be added into the mat2 project Google group. In that you can post your queries.
No, no, no. Yeah, that is fine. I know that, but how will I periodically check that whether I am doing correct, or if I stuck anywhere, how I get some assistance?
See, the whole point, the purpose of project is to test your understanding from the mat2 course. So whatever you learned, you are going to use it here only. So salary, all those things will be discussed in mat2 course, right? So we are just
Right.
using that here.
Okay.
So you just need to check everything like, are you sending this daily reminders? Yes. Make a tick mark. Monthly activity report. Yes. You put a tick mark. Export a CSV. Put a tick mark. That's it.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how you should do. Like there is not no nudging from the
Okay.
IBM.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So for sending this monthly activity report and Google Chat,
Mhm.
which framework will we use?
There are some APIs. You can also send mails via Google. How to send mail with Google Python. Okay, there is some dot send mail. Google Cloud has some APIs. So you can use these APIs. So mail dot send mail to subject body. You can use Python to send this mail. So you can go ahead and use this Google Cloud documentation, sending mails.
So this will send mail in Gmail. Or
Yeah, using Gmail you can send, or else you can use some Bravo. There are some accounts with which also you can send. Maybe better to send with Google Cloud because it is a learning, right? You are using external, you are reading an API documentation and you are working on it. So Bravo is also same. Doesn't make any difference. Yeah, go ahead.
for GChat,
See, right now you don't need to worry, but you can just search and you can find the APIs. API to send message in GChat. Yeah, Google Chat API. There is a Google Chat API. You can use this one. So you can use these APIs. That's it. Okay. And as I said, you can also use Bravo, Marquee limit. It is not free SMTP server. So this is a mail sending server. You can use this one to send mails. So just create an account. So my session is go with Google only. That's it. Okay. So user triggered asynchronous job. Export as CSV. Devise a CSV format details for the quiz completed by the. Okay. If a user wants, then he can export his or her scores as a CSV. So any information the user should be able to export as CSV. So that's it. When is like uh, the quiz name, how much time they spend, what are the marks they obtain, like this. Multiple rows you can. The user should be able to export the information as CSV. That's the main thing they are saying. Uh, or else user triggered asynchronous job. Devise a CSV format details for all quizzes to be seen by admin. So okay, admin has you can either create for user or else for admin also. You can do any of them. Performance and caching. So add caching where required to increase the performance. So in website, instead of fetching the data again and again, if some data is already fetched, you can put that in cache, and you can show that again. Add cache expiry, like after how many times the cache can be expired. And API performance. Okay, I'm not sure about this API for performance. Maybe it is like readability, all those things, I guess. Not sure. So recommended functions. So well-designed PDF reports for monthly activity reports. So when you are sending the monthly activity, create a HTML and PDF. Okay, the students can choose between HTML and PDF reports. So there should be an option like that, but it is recommended. It is not mandatory. Okay, so you can not do this. First, focus on implementing all these things. If everything is done, then you can work on these recommended functionalities. And so it is better to do recommended functionalities because the website will look. And here comes the optional. So it is also not mandatory. So do it or else not do it. Doesn't matter. So evaluation, create and submit project as shown here. So there is some demo. Watch it. And that's it. That's what you have to do in Quizmaster, and I will show my code right now. So what I done for the Mac 2. So this is my Mac 2 project. So backend, front end, and one README project to how to do this. So I'm pasting in chat. So if you want, just refer it. Okay. So first I created a to do and I listed all the things that has to be done in the project. So APIs and checking, JWT token checking, event listeners for rating update, find a better way to handle user requests. So go to documentation and write down all the things that has to be done. And after that, create a to-do list and make a list. So whenever anything is done, you can just remove it and you can be sure like if everything is done, then you will get good marks in the project. So first I will open backend. So it is same as MAD1. Everything is same. I won't explain this database resources. Everything is same. Static is where you store the images, everything. So the only thing is Celery. Okay, first I will show the APIs. So in resources, I created APIs. So what in format 2 I did library management system problem statement. So for authentication, login, logout, I use this auth. Okay, I will do this. So this login. So get information like in the arguments I'm sending email. If the user already exists, then I am sending found true. So I'm just sending this JSON data. Okay, in this API login API. So in the front end, what I'm doing is I'm requesting. I'm just sending a get request to this login resource along with the email ID. If there is no email ID, I'm sending the message not found, and I will show in the front end. If the user is found, then I will send this found true. So what I will do is, because the found is true, I will redirect the user from register page to login page because the user already exists. If it is found false, so user not exists. So what should I do? I will send him to the register page because the account is not there. So that's what I'm doing. If the user is there, return to login page or else return to register page. That's it. And after get information, which is just checking if the user exists or not, I'm doing post. So in this post, I'm sending if not of request.is JSON. So we have to send a JSON file in that request, okay, for logging in. If it is not, I'm just showing error 400 error. And if it is there, I'm just getting the data. If not data, return no data provided. So if the data is there, then I'm trying to extract email and password from that. If there is any error, then I will send error in the given data format. If required data of email, if there is email and password, then try to fetch that user using the email. And if user and user verify password, so this is a function, okay, verify password. So just to check if the password is correct or not. And there is some salting everything that you should know in Madvan you may have done. So we'll just check if the hash is matching or not. If it is returning to true, then user and true, so it will go to the next statement, like from date time import date time. And I am in the database, I'm storing setting the last login for information of the users. So why I'm keeping this information like last login, like when they log in information, just to know if the user log in or not in this day, so that I can avoid sending him notification if he already logged in this day. For the case, for the sake of that, I'm just doing this. So in WhatsApp, uh, so we can see last seen, right, when the user last seen the application. So this is what they are also doing. Like if the user closes the application, then there will be no action from the user. So WhatsApp will update the user last login, like last seen. So same thing is happening. Same thing I'm implementing. After that, I'm just committing because I added the information date time. I updated the information, and after that, I'm creating an access token. So access token equal to, I'm creating a access token using the function create access token from the Flash security. And after that, I'm giving identity of the user and giving 6 hours of expiry date. Okay. And after that, I'm returning message logged in successfully access token. I'm returning the access token and user information and 200 success. If the password is wrong, then I'm returning message incorrect email or password. That's it. And if there is no data, then I'm providing a message provide all required data field and check format. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So in the front end, whenever this data is returned, from this we can see message logged in successful. We will show this message to the user, and we are going to store this access token in the front end in the local storage, the access token variable, the data in this. So whenever we try to fetch another information, we need to show this access token, or else we can't see the data. So that's it. And user information, just to show anything in the dashboard, like showing the username. For the sake of that, I'm just converting user to dictionary and sending user information also in the JSON data after logging. So that's it. And here comes the register. So if it is post, yeah.
Yeah, Nandan, this is good. Now you can show, I think, front end.
Okay, yeah, I'm explaining code. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So
I think
register.
one
Okay.
class is enough, I think.
Yeah. So register, we are sending all the data, but the thing is, we are returning in the JSON format only. So return a dictionary, so it will be treated as JSON in the front end. So that's the thing we have to remember here. So only thing is we have to check is, so JWT required. So if the token is there, then only we can access this route. So that's what this JWT required does. So whenever we are requesting to this logout API, we should return the access token. We should send the access token along with the request. If the access token is there, then only this function will allow us to proceed, or else it will send then it will return some not logged in some message. Okay, so that's what this JWT required does. If it is there, then it will check if the token is there. If the token is not there, then it means the user is not logged in, so it will return some error. Okay, so that's what it does. And after this, because the token is there, we are getting the JWT token, and we are adding the token to block list, and after we are returning successfully logged out message. That's it. After this, the token is no longer valid after adding to block list. So that's about it. So this is a brief explanation. We'll go to, this is about authentication. I don't need to go to any other. Okay, I will just open a book. So it is book resources. So JWT required. Again, I am checking before entering into any of these. I'm just checking. It is mandatory to log in into this. Okay, so for this initial, I am putting, or else you have to put for anything, every thing. So for initializing class, uh, so this function will run. Okay, in the class for initializing thing. So for that, I put the JWT required. That's it. Instead of putting for everyone, I'm just doing this. And so get information. So if you want to get information, admin can do it. Also, user can do it. Whereas uploading any information, only admin can do do this. That's why I created a decorated function access per and only admin. So that is librarian in this case. So if the current user is librarian, then only allow the user. So that was this function doing. So if it is not the librarian, then we should return some you are not admin, like that error. That's it. So that's about it. Now I will go to backend again. So that's about APIs. So while working with APIs, you can explore all these things. Uh, Resources, database. So I will go to Celery. So there is nothing to show in this code, but only thing is we can create a tasks. So I only did the 2 tasks. Send daily reminders. So Celery is a library with which you can create timed tasks. So at this time of every day, do this, something like that. So I created a shared task, and after that I defined a function send daily reminders, and it will get today's time, and it will fetch all the users, and for every user we are sending remind visit mail. So in this function we are importing from any other, uh, we are getting this function, and we are passing all the details like user email, user first name last name, and we are sending the mails. That's it with this triggered task. And shared task, again we are sending monthly reports, same as this. So we will trigger it, we will put some time, okay, when this should run. I'm not sure, but uh, it is triggered somewhere. Okay, I'm not sure. So user, it is fetching all the users. For every user we are sending the monthly reminder. So that's it. Not sure, let me check if it is triggered in another one. Workers.py, yeah, I think this one. uh, okay, leave it. So the thing is, you have to create some functions which will do the work. Okay, so which will send mails. So this is a function to send mails, and this is a function to send monthly reports. So both are similar, and in these functions we are again importing some functions, remind visit mail. So this function will use some APIs, external APIs, and it will send the mails. So that's it. So that's about any doubt here, like please ask, because these are the new things and briefly explained. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask now. In backend, no doubts. Okay, then I will go to front end.
So there are many Python files, right? So, in the backend.
Backend is only Python. We are not using any other thing. So front end. So in front end, I used Vue CLI. Uh, the only thing is you have to use the Vue library. Okay. If you use CDN, we are importing the JavaScript files using CDN, and you are working with it. Whereas what I did is I used CDN, so command line interface, and I created. There is some code like a Vue create. Node create at the rate Vue CLI latest something like. If you do that, then it will create a all this structure for you. Okay, you don't need to do all of these things, it will automatically create. And so these are the things you don't need to worry about, like it will automatically create and packages information, all those things, nothing to do with this. Only thing is we have to think about is public. So in public we will keep the information, like a website icons, five icon, those things. And in SRC we will keep all the assets components. So in Mad1 we were using the templates, right? Like this in Mad2 we are going to use the Vue templates, and all these templates is going to be here. So if you do Mad2 course, then you can you will know about this. Like I can give brief explanation here. So there are routes, same as in Mad1 there are multiple routes for every endpoint. So in Mat2 also we have routes. So after entering into this route, show this component uh, uh, in the front end, show this template in the another route, like that. Routes, different routes. Okay, what I can say about using CDN is you are what you are doing is you are serving you are using separate server to serve the front end files. Okay, and for the data you are creating another backend server. So that's the difference. I hope now you got it. And assets means yeah.
Can you repeat?
Yeah. In Mad1 you are using only one server to send the backend, I mean to show the whole website. Whereas in Mat2 you are using two servers, backend and front end. In front end you are using uh, JavaScript programming language used server to send the front end information, like visualize how to say the front end information like HTML template, all those things. Whereas the backend we are sending the data only. Front end front end server serves only front end files, that is HTML, CSS, all those things. Whereas backend only sends the JSON. That's it. Okay.
And sir, example of these two server,
Huh?
examples for these two server.
What example? Like I'm
Let's
using two
say,
servers only.
what
In
server?
backend, hmm?
What server we are using to host that stuff.
Local servers.
Let's say Apache for something or something for something else. Like so, they are two server.
I'm
As
not
you,
sure about Apache, but whenever you run this backend, like Python uses some 500 something, okay, local server. So when you run this, it will run on the other port. So these are two separate servers.
okay, okay.
If your doubt is not clear, feel free to ask again. So when you run this backend, it will run on another like local server. It will run on local server, but this runs on the another port. You can also change URLs, but the thing is, both are working as different.
Okay, so
Whereas
the
if you
port means server. Definitely, the port represents some kind of server. That is fine.
okay, the thing is, both are not working on the same server. They are working on different URLs. You can say URLs.
Okay, sir.
So that's it. Whereas in Mad1, only one to do all the things. But here we are using separate things. But if you use CDN in case, then in that case, in backend itself, you are creating two APIs, one for sending the HTML and other thing to send the JSON data. Okay, that's it. So I hope it is clear. Public to show the favicons, everything. In SRC, we are going to store the assets like images that we have to show in the front end. Components. So in Vue, we have the ability to do multiple things like components. So this whole page is a component, and under this component, we can separate things like a header is a separate component. Uh, so if I click this is a separate component. Water pop-up came now. This is a separate component. So this box is can also be a separate component. So these things you can learn in the Mat2 course. Okay. So it will be like that. Components and routes. So the URL whatever you are typing here. So these you can define in the routes. And services, not sure. Views is like a template as I said. So the views librarian what so in the problem statement they have said for admin you should show something else, right? I forgot that thing. Quizmaster dashboard something. So those views you have to create. Quizmaster view, user view. So two views. And so those views you have to do. And after that you can import components and you can show them. Okay, let's go to services. Yeah, services means like here I'm doing auth.js. So in this auth.js I'm doing all the information about authentication like logging, logout, all those information here. And axios.js I'm using some library called axios, and using that I'm fetching the data from the backend. So Vuex is state management, like storing current users information. So whenever you refresh, the data will be gone in JavaScript. So that's why we are going to use this Vuex, which will keep the state persistent. That's it. And fetch data. So this is the fetch data. I defined some JavaScript things. So okay, I don't think I have implemented all those things. Maybe I forgot to commit. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I forgot to no, I directly implemented in the template itself. So what we are doing is we are get sections. So this is a function. If we run this function, then it will trigger and it will import Axios client and it will fetch data from the backend and it will return the data. So that's what this function does. So I just defined, I haven't done. So it is better to do these functions. So that's what I defined. That's it. So that's about it. Whenever you run this front end server, so these are the codes you have to run. So it will initialize the server and it will whenever you go into the server your endpoint, you will get a website, and with that you can log in, log out, do all the things, and it will talk with the backend. So that's it. So do you have any doubts about Mat2 project? So this is a brief explanation I can give. I hope you can understand.
So can you show the UI codes? Like in Mad one, we had HTML temp files, right? So instead of that,
Okay, yeah, I will show. SRC. So okay, I will show main one, app.view. So this is the one. So template. So in this template, you will show the HTML code. In this script, you will do JavaScript, okay? And in this style, you will do CSS. So all three in the same template. So that's the use of Vue. Vue is simple and better. Whereas in Mad1, I don't know how you did, but if you are doing custom CSS, then you have to create separate files like separate CSS file, separate JavaScript file, and then you have to import it. It was like that, but in Vue you can put directly in one template. That's it. Okay.
okay, there is no HTML file.
Yeah. No, there is HTML file, but this is a template that will be shown in that. Okay. So this is a single page application. If I go to public, then index.html. So this is the only HTML template in this project. So if JavaScript is not supported by the browser, then we will show this strongly. We are sorry, but eLibrid, so whatever website does not work properly without JavaScript enabled. Please enable it to continue. So that's what we are going to do. And the JavaScript is enabled, then we will show this the whatever the application rendered here. So that's it. So if JavaScript is enabled, then we will inject the templates into this div id equal to app, and it will be shown here. Any
Just
other
can
doubt?
you show the view file again?
Yeah, view
App.
files. Yeah, and whatever you code there, as I shown before, three things: template, script, and then style. So you will import and show it in that div. Any other doubt?
No, sir. Like, can you run and show app?
Run and show. Okay, I have to clone it, I have to install the modules, so you can try it yourself, so make it as
Yes.
experiment. So this is just a brief explanation, and right now I'm working on one thing, so I can show you that. So backend I just defined, front end cd front end here, npm install. So it is installing all the modules. So for this there is some code, you have to run it and it will create all these folders. So public src, and it will add some other things. So for that we have to install some modules, and by doing npm install, it is installing all those things. It will take some time. Okay, while it is installing, if you have any other doubts, we'll ask.
Sir, to do the Mat 2 project, how many weeks of Mat 2 like the theories need? Like up to week 12 or
Yeah, better to complete all the weeks. So the thing is, like, in the starting phase they just explain JavaScript. After that they introduce the libraries, and after that they talked about the Celery and backend tasks. So all are important, so just go through them. npm run sir. Mm, okay, let me see the documentation. So I'm using latest one, so that's why. You run server. npm run dev. Okay, npm run dev. Okay, yeah. So it is running on the local host 513. If I open this, so I haven't did anything. So you can see local host port 5173, and in that this view thing view is running. You can go to about. So that's it. This is about page. This home page, and you can also see in the URL it is changing when I go to about slash about. So that's it. So even if you run that, the same thing will happen, but in the front end you are using fetching data from the back end. Okay, anything else? And if you want to do with the CDN, then you can use this code script src equal to this and after importing, you can do this div id equal to app, and after that you can do some JavaScript to do front end things. So I hope you don't have any doubts. So that's
So
about
the
it.
JSON API which you are sending in backend, you are catching it with that app.view file, right?
No, I'm not catching with app.view file. App.view file is where the JavaScript runs, and it will fetch the data from the backend, and it will fetch using Axios library, and it will take care of the API calling, API fetching, all those things. So after fetching, I'm showing that information again in the app.view file. Okay.
Okay, so you're fetching with other files, right?
Yeah. You can fetch in the same template, like below there is a script, right? Okay, I will show one. Components, add book. So this is a admin's add book. So this is a HTML template, and I'm importing some components to show here, and I'm importing Axios client. So with this Axios client, what I'm doing is, uh, so I'm submitting a form, Axios client.post, and to API/books, I'm sending the form data, and with header content type this, and after sending this, what I'm doing is I'm doing a toggle add book. So it is just like open form. After the user submits the form, close the add book, the pop-up, that's it. So that's what this is doing. So I'm using the Axios client to send data to the backend. So Axios client.post API books. So for to this API, I'm sending the data. That's uh, so that's it. Anything else you have doubt about? Okay. So books.view, I will show this one. So what it will do is, okay, it is using mail page. PDF document. Request reviews, layout, I guess. Sidebar. Okay, I have to go through every code. Okay, I don't remember, but so same as how it is editing, adding a book, uh, we can also get request and get the information about the books. So that's what we can do.
So all this fetching and stuff will be covered in Mat 2, like the theory.
No, I'm not sure. I haven't watched it. I hope it is there. Yeah, the fetching things will be there. Yeah, API calling, but you have to understand, and you should be able to know how to do it. Okay. Okay, here I am doing. So Axios client with get method, I'm sending request to API/sections, and I am passing some parameters to use in the backend. So after calling API with this information, whatever the response it is coming from, and I'm checking if it has next, then I'm adding show the next button, or else don't show, like that. After that, I'm adding the books information into the books list, and I'm making this dot loading equal to false. Okay, forgot about this, but after fetching the data, I'm putting that in the books information I got into the books variable. That's it. So that's what I'm doing here. So anything else? I hope everything is clear. So just go to YouTube and search for Vue projects, Vue and Flask. So you can watch these videos. So full stack project with Vue and Flask, you can watch this video. It will help you to understand how to connect the backend and front end. So I think I only watched this video. I think this is a good video. So only thing is the syntax will be different. So you have to understand how they are doing and implement with the latest code by referring documentations or else asking ChatGPT if there is any doubt. That's it. So just go to Google and YouTube and search Vue and Flask, and you can find tutorials. So the only thing is
Could you share
latest.
some
Yeah.
videos for to develop this Vue Flask project? Could you please share?
Uh, Personally, I don't remember. Okay, so that's why I'm asking you to go to YouTube and search V1 Flask. The thing is, the code
Research
will
will be a lot of stuff, but which will be more relevant, so that could be helpful.
see. Personally, I don't know. I would say what I faced also. I'm telling the code will be different. So if you see the syntax is very different. It is updated right now. So only thing you can do by watching these videos is get a sense of how they are doing it. Okay, and referring to documentation, you can see that. So nothing is easy. You have to start working on it, and then you can understand. Okay, there is no like direct method to learn something. So I think I used this tutorial. Uh, Token based authentication in Flask. So you can watch this video. And there it is. View resource, external API access. Maybe you can watch it first. I don't recommend these things. Mm, this Django, no to Django, because it is completely different. And maybe you can watch this video. This is a simple one. The only thing is that the syntax is very different, but try to understand how they are doing, and implement by your own. Okay, that's what I can say. Just go to documentation and see how they are doing, and implement the same. That's it. Or else you can search topic wise, view API fetching, and you can see 5 ways to fetch data. View 3 for beginners. Okay, NetNinja. Yeah, NetNinja is a good place. Yeah. Here you can. View 3 tutorials. Vue.js 2 tutorials. So depending on which you want to work with, you can go with. So let's go with the View 3. So I'm just pasting the link. Or else you can just go to YouTube and search for NetNinja View 3 tutorials. So they have this basics CLI, build a reaction time game, forms and inputs. So they have everything. Okay, so they are also teaching routes. Okay, this is a good thing. You can also fetch data, composition API. Okay, this is a good playlist in my opinion. So you can go with this. I have sent the link. That's it. Just watch this tutorial. And for APIs, in Mad1 you did, right? So nothing to tell about. So that's it. Anything else? Else I will stop this recording.
Sir,
Mhm.
sir, in the previous time I did Mat one project using that household services. So if I continue with the same problem statement in for Mat 2 also, then that will be helpful, or should I go with the new one?
Mm, Depends again. Like if you want to do it easily, do the one you are uh, worked with. So it will save your time. Plus, if you want to do something new, then do this one.
Yes, sir, because the database ER diagram will be same, only the codes will change. The
Yeah,
control.
yeah, yeah. But only thing I can tell is like in your resume, instead of putting same name 2 times, you can put two different names. Like I made one service thing, and again quiz project. Like you can show two different projects instead of showing one, right? Are you getting? Instead of showing one, project name, you can keep two names. So that's what I was suggesting. That's it. Your opinion. If you want to save time, just go with the one you are good worked
Okay,
with.
sir. But some 25-30% it will be same, right? Doing the same problem statement.
60% will be same. I'm not sure. Only thing is you have to add the timed things, and you have to make front end templates. That's it.
Yes, sir. I have to replace that HTML.
Yeah, you have to make front end, and you have to fetch the data from the backend, and it should respond with JSON files. So that's a lot of modification. So anyway, it will take time, but after learning, it will be done. So my suggestion is go with the new framework, new project statement. So you will learn everything from basics. So it's a good thing to learn. So that's it. Okay. I hope you don't have any doubts. I'm stopping this recording.